Hello, Phoenix Physics students, and welcome to Physics 202. I'm Robert Austin. I'm your facilitator for this course. I'll be guiding you through the next 7 weeks. I'm creating this video to help you avoid some missteps early in the course, so I hope you watch it and pay attention. The first thing I want you to look at is the course syllabus. Really, the only thing I want you to look at is the schedule at the bottom of the page. This is what I've added to the standard syllabus. So please look it over and please note that the times are according to Phoenix time. All right, we're in week 1. This is our week 1 module. We're studying fluid statics and dynamics. The first thing you might want to do is post a message about yourself. This is completely optional. Um, it's not graded. You can say as much or as little about yourself as you wish, but it's sometimes helps me understand where you're coming from. So I'd like to know in particular these first two things. What brought you to the University of Phoenix, and it's probably related to your career aspirations. What do you want to do with your career in the future? So please try to respond to that early this week. The next thing you'll want to do is actually start reading uh, the material for this week. So if you look under learning activities, that's where your textbook is. So you have 2 chapters to go through this first week. I recommend skimming them. Don't read it in too much detail, just read it closely enough so that you get an idea of what is discussed where. You can always go back and read in greater detail later and look at examples. Then you probably would want to respond to the interactive overview. This is due Thursday of the current week. So this Thursday would be October 3rd. So try to get it in by midnight Phoenix time, October 3rd. And it only takes a few minutes, as I'll show you. Now, this is the first week, so I don't expect you to have a very good idea about how you think you're doing, because you haven't had any feedback or anything, but just do the best you can. But I'm going to respond to it. If you choose the emotions below, how are you feeling about week 1? Write your responses below. There are no right or wrong answers. You get full credit for just responding here. And I'm going to say very confident. Now, many of you may not feel that confident. You might feel not sure or not confident or really worried. If you do, that's okay. But try to explain to me why you feel that way. Now, I feel confident because I'm the facilitator. You may not feel so confident yet, or as the weeks go on, your confidence may rise or fall. And if it does, explain to me why, best of your ability, and maybe I can offer some help. Okay, once you've done that, I suggest just fill it out and go ahead and submit it. This is not something that needs to sit around and have you think about a lot. So just spend a couple minutes on it, then submit it. If you submit it, it will send a confirmation to your email. And if you want, you can download the confirmation to your downloads folder. Okay, I'm done with that. The next important thing would be the discussion topic, because that is due also on Thursday, your response. Okay, so click on that. This really has 2 parts. So you have a discussion topic, you pick a couple of terms and discuss those terms. And you're supposed to do that in 175 words or more. And that should be done by Thursday, 11:59 p.m. Phoenix time. So find out what 11:59 p.m. Phoenix time is in your time zone. For example, I'm on Eastern time. I'm 3 hours ahead of Phoenix. So if it's 11:59 p.m. in Phoenix on Thursday night, that would be 2:59 a.m. Friday morning for me. Okay. In addition to that response, by Monday, so that would be the end of the week. In the case of the first week, that would be Monday, October 7th. You should reply to your classmates, at least 2 replies. I don't count words, but make sure there's substantive. Okay, don't just say, I agree with you or great comment. If you agree with somebody or disagree with somebody, explain what you're agreeing with and maybe say why you agree with it or why you disagree with it. You can also reply to my replies. So if you see a message from me and you want to say something about that, you can reply to me because I'm one of your classmates as well. So that counts. And like I said, I don't count words, but a good rule of thumb is about 75 words. I grade this according to a rubric. So please look over the rubric and, you want to be on time. If you're late, I start deducting points. And these are the points you get in terms of lateness. Okay, so if you're 1 day late, you get only 10.8 out of 12 points, etc. Of course, if you don't post at all, you get 0. I also count words. It's not worth as much. You see, a big fraction of your grade is due to being on time. It's important because you want other students to read your messages. Less important is the number of words, at least from my perspective. If you can say it well in fewer than 175 words, I'll take off a little bit, but it's not going to hurt you too much. But try to do it in 175 words or more. And then the quality of your answer. Now, usually, as long as you make a good effort to answer, you'll get full credit. But lately, I've noticed a lot of students are giving me really good answers, but when I check them on an AI checker, they get a very high score for AI. So I don't want people using AI to answer these questions. I want you to answer it yourself. So I'm starting to take that into account. I use a very conservative AI detector provided by Grammarly. It's free, so all of you can use it. You just paste your text in here. Check yourself before posting. If you get less than a 25% score, uh, according to the AI checker, I won't take any points off. If you get between 25% or 50, I start taking some points off. And it gets worse with the higher AI score, okay? So check your AI score. If you get a score higher than 25%, change your wording a little bit and bring that down. And then the last thing is I check, and the last thing is part of your grade. It depends on your replies to your fellow classmates. So by Monday, post at least 2 replies to your fellow classmates. So you have a reading review quiz. That's a multiple choice quiz. It's 10 questions. Some of those questions are rather challenging, but you can treat it as an open book quiz and you can do it as many times as you want. Every week you'll have a lab or two, and they're virtual labs provided by a platform called Labster, and you're expected to write a lab report on what you learned in that lab. Now let's look at the lab report. The first week it's lab safety, so this is really just a more to get you familiar with how these virtual labs work. Okay. So the thing to do is each week you'll have a lab report template. So just download that template. It'll go to your downloads folder. It's a Word document. Open it up and then just start editing it. Now, um, you can put in the title. That's pretty easy. Put in the topic. Make sure you write in complete sentences. So, for example, I would write here, I'm even going to help you out, right? topic of this lab was lab safety. You might want to say a little more than that, but that's the bare minimum of what you could say, and that's a complete sentence, right? Now, provide some background information. What does the textbook say about lab safety? Now, this week, I'm just going to give it away. Let me pause here. So, I wouldn't expect that you'll find any useful background information on lab safety in your textbook reading, but there'll be a lot of information in the theory section of the lab. So make sure you summarize what you see there. And then just go down through and read all this and give me uh, your best answers in complete sentences. And you should be fine. Also, it does say something here about course learning outcomes. The course learning outcomes are in the syllabus. So, for course learning outcomes, just go back to the syllabus. Here's your learning outcomes. We're in week 1. You see that there's no learning outcome really associated with week 1 here. So you might just state that there's no learning outcome for this week. But in weeks 2, 4, 6, and 7, there are. So make sure you refer to the correct learning outcome in your lab report for whatever week it is. Once you're done editing the template, save it, and then go into the assignment, click in the box here, and just upload by clicking on the attachment icon your lab report. So go to Downloads or wherever you stored your lab report. Click on the lab report, save, and in a few seconds it should open up your lab report into the window here. Okay, there it is. So now I can grade it. So please save it as a Word document and then upload it as I showed you. And then once you're done, make sure you submit it. If you don't submit it, I cannot grade it. I can't even see it. Again, I'll send you a confirmation that you've submitted the assignment, and you can download that confirmation. Now that's the bulk of what I wanted to say. The last thing that I want to draw your attention to is a live meeting I scheduled for this Thursday. So I've scheduled a live meeting for 5 p.m. Phoenix time. That is an optional meeting. I know you have many demands on your time, and for some of you, it makes it impossible to attend this meeting. That's okay. If I have at least one student attending, I will record the meeting and provide a link to the recording the following day. If you don't know what 5 o'clock Phoenix time is in your time zone, sometime before Thursday afternoon, click on that link and it will show you the time in your time zone. I'm on Eastern time. I'm 3 hours ahead of Phoenix, so that would be 8 p.m. my time. So I hope to see some of you on Thursday. If not, I'll see you in class.